Hello and welcome to my discussion on neutral monism. Neutral monism is a philosophical position that offers a unique perspective on a relationship between mental and physical realms. It suggests that these two realms are not different, but they are two different aspects or manifestations of a single substance or entity. Neutral monism suggests that reality is a coalesced entity of both mental and physical aspects. It provides us a holistic approach that goes beyond our traditional mind-body dichotomy. This idea has motivated the philosophers and scholars across the globe for revisiting the old chapters and to delve into the theories which have discussed the mind-body relationship. A glimpse of neutral monism can be found in 17th century French philosopher and mathematician René Descartes' discussion on mind-body problem. He considered mind as an immaterial, non-extended substance that performs various activities or undergoes various states such as feeling, willing, and rational thoughts, whereas matter as an extended substance, with some exception in case of human body. He believed human body is causally affected by human mind and which causally generates certain mental events. In his treatise, The Passions of the Soul, he described the pineal gland as the principal seat of the soul, by which mind and body interact. The proponents of dual attribute theory, Baruch Spinoza, proposed that mental and physical aspects of reality are manifestations of a singular substance, God, or they were only two of God's manifestations as a universal substance. Although Baruch Spinoza and David Hume are often identified as the originators of neutral monism, but the vagueness of their reasoning did not explain the theory properly. In the early 20th century, three pioneers laid the groundwork for this theory. They are Ernst Mach, William James, and Bertrand Russell. Among them, only Russell used the term neutral monism. According to them, that our reality is based upon our own perceivable world, but our perception is the result of the interaction between subject and object, matter and mind. According to William's view, when subject senses and object's data fused or merged, we create our own reality. Subjective experience, that is qualia, varies in case of a fixed object because of space and time, and thus creates a newer entity which they name neutral entity. It is not exclusively mental or physical, but sharing both the features of each realm. This neutral realm is actually the reality, what we observe. Neutral monism shares the virtues of materialism and idealism in paring down the kinds of basic entities, but dualism posits that matter and mind are the two fundamental entities. Russell frequently emphasized the mystery involved in dualist accounts of perception. He said how from a long physical chain of events, a non-physical event can originate and creates two aspects of reality, mind and matter, is a miracle. Materialism holds the view that mind is wholly spawned from material entities and thus mind-body causal relationship are ultimately a physical causal relationship. But how the properties of mental phenomena are wholly grounded in material properties, that is a big question. Whereas in the case of idealism, matter is based on basic mental entity, and the mind-body relationship is nothing but a matter of mental causality. Neutral monism addresses that mind and matter are not different. In fact, neutral entities are intrinsically both mental and material. According to Mach, neutral monism is an attempt to harmonize two different tendencies, one in psychology and other in physics. The materialistic tendency of psychology and the anti-materialistic tendency of physics. But David Chalmers, an Australian philosopher and cognitive scientist, pointed out the very significant issue which he called the hard problem of consciousness. Chalmers is looking for the adequate solution which can solve the difficulty in understanding how and why subjective experience arise from physical processes in the brain. Chalmers argues that there is a fundamental gap in our understanding of consciousness, which he refers to as the heart problem. He suggests that even if we were to fully understand the physical processes underlying consciousness, it would not explain why those processes give rise to subjective qualitative experiences. So there may be an additional explanatory principle or property beyond the physical that is necessary in order to fully understand and explain the subjective nature of consciousness. Another challenge that neutral monism faces is the combination problem. According to neutral monism, there are countless conscious microentities in both mental and physical realm. But how they combine to give birth to a complete human consciousness is not explained in the theory of neutral monism. In this context, Russell suggested a potential solution and talked about the existence of proto-phenomenal properties. But despite all the criticisms, the contribution of this theory in understanding the nature of our inner thoughts and the external world cannot be denied.